Hello, scoundrels. Welcome back to Duskfall. Hello, my name is Jared Logan, and you are watching The Stream of Blood, a tabletop role-playing game Twitch channel. And tonight, we are playing, once again, here it is, the excellent Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat. We are playing our weekly game of Blood and Blades here on The Stream of Blood. Thank you all for joining us. We have one of my favorite crews tonight. They're all my favorites. They're all my children. But these guys, they're the crew that has actually shown a little altruism, even though they are all depraved, bizarre, and fucked up individuals, as scoundrels and Blades in the Dark should be. They have just recently completed a mission where they basically saved the city. So they are due for a little downtime tonight. And if you're familiar with Blades in the Dark, you know that the downtime mechanics are incredible. They let your character do all the little things that you've always wanted to do with your RPG character. Not just healing yourself, but also kind of exploring their interests, exploring your character's hobbies. And they also kind of automatically start churning out really great story hooks for whatever the next session will be. So that's what we'll be engaging in here tonight. With our friends, the Kenahora. The Kenahora Scovelanders who are intent on protecting other Scovelanders and stealing back their arcane heritage. The Kenahora, which means without the evil eye, are shadows. They are subtle, they go unseen, and they steal back the things that belong to their heritage. I love it. Let's bring them in. This guy, so funny, a great game master himself, one of my pals, playing Urich, a leech who his blood is filled with poison. Please welcome Andrew ORVEDAHL.
Thank you. You thought you were going to bust me eating that quesadilla? No.
That's what I was trying to do. Did I get it?
Nope. Sorry,
right,
try again harder.
Take Andrew back out. I got to bring him back in a second. Try to get our mouthful. There we go. Let's bring.
No, I finished it. Thank you for having me. Thank you for bringing me back.
Thank you for being here, my friend. You're the newest addition to the group, the Kenahora. Last time you guys were really in kind of a tight spot, but you got out of it. How's Urich feeling after having bound a demon inside the sea and then come back?
Everything about that seems so improbable. I think, probably a lot of time spent shell-shocked at being still alive and not being insanely arrested, given their close calls and everything. But now he's definitely very prioritized with his friend Veldrin and this mysterious serum that brought him back to his regular consciousness.
That's right. You can finally focus on the things that matter. Your friend Veldrin, who was driven mad by your experiments and whom you're trying to cure. I can't wait to see if you can do that. My intention is to make it as hard as possible. I don't want to see this man ever lead a normal life. I want Urich wiping this man's ass for the rest until they're killed by bluecoats at some point. Let's bring in our next player. She plays a character who is described as kind of like a I don't know if I'm describing it right. A funky older lady who's good with a gun and has a cute, chubby bat, which is my favorite character description ever. Please welcome, everybody, Rachel Weeks.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and how's Bina feeling after the old boat trip you all went on?
Oh gosh, she got to use her rifle, which is kind of fun. We haven't brought out the gun quite yet, so she's probably. I'm sorry, my own chubby bat is poking her feet in.
Now you're a very method role player, Rachel. I know. Yeah. So whenever
I adopted a cat, named it Barrow. It's they wouldn't let me take a bat home. I did try.
Yeah, and then anytime you use the rifle in the game, you actually pull out your own rifle there at home.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that commitment. What's Bina planning on doing with her downtime tonight? Does she have any thoughts, any ideas?
She definitely has some stress that she needs to work on, which means we're probably going to drink at the old. It's like a dice hall, I think, is where she went last time. Yeah, Zachiel's game room.
Zachiel's game room.
Zachiel's game room.
The Kenahora hang out in the coolest places.
Yeah, so she's gonna go play some checkers and drink aquavit to decompress a little bit. But Lovely. It's the first time that she's feeling sort of healthy in terms of actual harm. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to start a project.
That's really exciting. Wow, yeah, healed up. I mean, we've been talking about how unforgiving the healing rules can be in this game. I kind of love it. It kind of also sometimes gives you impetus to bring new characters in and out. Speaking of indulging vices, though, we got to talk to Aaron Urist, who plays Elazar, a guy whose vice is just reading books, and overindulged his vice a couple of sessions ago and just went on a mad reading spree. This crew is a bunch of hooligans. Wow, watch out, because they'll read and then play checkers. Please welcome Aaron Urist, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here.
Welcome back. And what has Elazar got planned for his downtime? You have any thoughts on that?
Oh, man. Elazar is stressed and still magically aged. And
God. I forget he's magically aged.
Yeah, he's like extra enfeebled. And I think he's probably pretty upset about current events in Duskeval, especially in context of what they just did, saving the world, maybe.
We're going to get into those current events, some of which are determined during our faction turn that we do once a month with our subscribers. The Bluecoats have not been kind to the Skovlanders of Duskeval. We're going to find out more about that in a bit. Let's talk to the only member of the crew who is not a Skovlander. She's just a weird Akarosi with a dead sister who haunts her, and she's weird and unfortunate. A poor Violet, played by our good pal. Let's bring him in, Jordan Dahl. Everybody. Oh,
Jared, I'm ready to relax.
Yeah,
you better be getting paid some serious money by
listen. I'm not, but there's nothing wrong with greasing the pan a little bit.
You have a bunch of teal polo shirts in your closet that they're giving you for free
with the splash across them. Scented polo shirts.
I would love a LaCroix sponsorship. Are you kidding me? I'd sit here with a 2-liter chugging this shit.
I'm looking at
human dollars for a LaCroix button-up, or like a jacket with LaCroix on the back.
Wow. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Pamplemousse?
That was pamplemousse.
The worst thing that often gets given as like a gift like that is like a Letterman jacket. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's all these because I've worked on productions where they're like, thank you so much for working on this film. Here's a Letterman jacket with the name of the movie on the back. Or the name of the TV show.
Charity, yeah.
You'll never escape it.
Yeah. Now you can go out and get in a rumble with the My Name is Earl
people. That's what you got to. You got to go to the Goodwill in L.A. and just go through the racks for Letterman jackets that just say Jumper on the back or like Final Destination 6.
You know what movie I was talking about the other day? It's the Investment Bureau.
The Adjustment Bureau.
Adjustment, that's it. I was like, that sounds wrong. The Adjustment Bureau.
Yes.
That's the sequel. It was not well received.
It's not all the paperwork they had to fill out for the fallout from the first movie.
If you have an Adjustment Bureau Letterman jacket, I will buy it from you. If you're watching the stream, if you're out there, let me know. I'll buy it for you. I'll spend up to $2,000. Okay.
You just buy wrap gifts from other productions.
Every time you see me, I'm just in a different.
Oh man.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just like the idea that they're all like these sort of time twisty movies. It's like Jumper and Tenet, and like you just have a closet full of like.
Yeah, but Rachel, I'll throw a K-Pax or an Instinct in there.
Yeah.
Relic. Yeah, that was
nice pull.
First aid.
Okay, I feel like we're missing somebody. No, we're not. This is everybody. Okay, are you guys ready to play? We should play.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Let's do this. And by the way, the Letterman jacket conversation can continue while we play. But first, I have to give this really overwritten intro. 1,000 years ago, this was a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted out the sun and broke open the gates to the land of the dead. The city of Duskfall is a metropolis of factories and refineries, protected by its crackling lightning towers, fueled by marvelous electroplasm. Outside the walls is a wasteland of vengeful spirits. Inside the walls is a wretched hive of scum and villainy, intrigue and corruption. Life is cheap in a city ruled by death. There is no sun. The sun is gone. The only thing that shines in Duskfall are the blades in the dark. And we are going to join the Kenahora as they return, as they dry out their clothes, as they get dry, as they stumble off of the boat. And we are going to do the really fun thing that this game does is it just has you talk mechanics for a little bit, and then before you know it, you're role playing. So let's make sure everybody has their XP up to date. You were supposed to mark an XP every time you made a desperate action on the little line beside the action, and I hope people did that. Did everybody hit their playbook specific trigger? So, for example... let me look at your sheets here.
I am not sure if I did on this one.
Yeah, it says you address a challenge with tracking or violence. Well, you used your gun, right?
Yeah.
Well, I am the vengeful is my special ability.
Oh, that's your special one too.
Oh yeah.
So you get an additional XP trigger. You get payback against someone who harmed you or someone you care about. Oh, I think you didn't get that one, but you did get your initial
sure, the Ernie
your hound one.
Yeah.
And then everybody else, let's see. You addressed a challenge with technical. Yep. So Urich gets his. Elazar, you addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy. You were a big part of that attempt to fool the Coast Guard there.
That's true.
Yeah,
I also paid off the Leviathan hunters.
Yes. Oh God. Yes. Okay. Perfect. And then poor Violet. Did you do anything? Did you address a challenge with knowledge or arcane power?
Better believe it.
I think you did. So everybody take another XP for that.
It says if that item occurred multiple times, we take 2 XP.
Yeah, I did a couple of rolls for these arcane knowledges.
Oh. Look at these people now, asking for more than one.
Hey, I'm just reading the character sheet.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, really? Is that what it says?
Says it right there.
Oh, 2 XP if it occurred multiple times. You guys just save the city. If you think you did it twice, take 2.
Okay, I will.
I honestly can't remember if there were desperate actions. Does anybody else remember? I'm terrible.
Well, there were many, but poor Violet. Remember,
everything we did was in desperate position.
Pretty much every role we did was a desperate action.
But poor Violet, my friend Jordan, you should always mark the XP for those along insight, prowess, or resolve up there.
Right. I know. I definitely see where they go.
I'm going to do you a solid because you forgot. You rolled. I'm not. By the way, chat. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go back and watch the whole episode right now. I'm just going to give Jordan a. Oh, geez. You attune a lot, don't you? What do you remember doing a lot?
Attuning.
I think that you could go ahead and take a XP in your resolve line for that. Okay. I think you definitely had a desperate action that involved something in the resolve category.
I think you're right.
So, did you express your beliefs, drive, or heritage? So, this was a funny one because you guys always express your heritage, but in this particular one, it was more just about, making sure there was still a city and a heritage to express.
I remember, didn't I try to get the crew on the ship? I exhorted them as sons of Skovland.
Oh, that's right.
To I remember I did it on purpose because I wanted this XP. So.
Right on. Well, then, Urich, you may take that XP. And then the rest of you, I don't know if you, I mean, I think that you might just miss that one this time, except for Andrew, who's making sure he says things specifically to farm the XP.
I want that XP, baby. I'm just turning into a robot.
Min-maxer or smart guy? You be the judge, chat. And then finally, expressing goals or inner nature of the crew. Goals, drives, or inner nature of the crew. What do you guys think? Oh, wait, I'm on to the crew XP. I'm sorry. Struggle with issues with your vice or trauma. Did you guys struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
Yes. Yeah, Rose showed up and did horrible things, but she also showed up and kind of saved us that one time. She took that spear.
That's true. Yeah, but that was a little while ago. Did she just mess you up in the last session? Do you remember?
No, she like got in the way of
there was like
the spear, not the spear that was in the ground. Somebody like shot a bolt.
Right, somebody was like hurling a harpoon.
She helped you.
Yeah, she shot.
She ran out and got speared by it and tumbled to the ground, and then her body disappeared, and it was traumatizing.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Wow, did I come up with that?
Yeah, you're pretty good, Jared.
Jared, you should watch the show. It's pretty good.
No, I did watch some of it. I did actually watch some of it, but I just didn't. Okay, so I don't know. I don't think that you guys struggled with issues from vice or trauma. Like, you don't have any trauma. I don't think you might. Some of you may have some harm.
I have one trauma.
You have a trauma? Oh my
I'm
god!
obsessed.
Oh,
I think at some point
I'm giving Elazar this because Elazar, your obsessive studying is what made you guys go on this mission in the first place, which was very dangerous. So you, Elazar, may take that XP.
So now I can ask, what happens if you fill up your playbook XP?
Me too.
If you fill up your playbook XP, everybody, that means that you get a new special ability.
Whoa.
Yeah. Who's filled up their playbook XP? Oh, Rachel and Elazar. So let me make sure that there's nothing else to that. Actually, Mr. Secret GM, Clinton Trucks, can you hop in for a second?
It's me, Clint.
Hey, buddy, would you mind looking up and making sure that there's nothing else that they need to do? Because sometimes you have to pay coin or something when you like go up a level or anything.
Stand by.
Okay, thank you, my friend. So he's going to check on that, but while he's doing that, you guys look hungrily over those special abilities. So when we talk about those in a minute, you know which one that you want. I'm going to go ahead and move on to crew XP. Oh, damn, I put Clint on an assignment, and now I need... now I also want the crew sheet. I want what I want. That's okay.
Clint, get back here.
Let's not bring Clint back yet. We'll let him look at that one thing while we kind of just talk about how much of this you should get. Oh, thank you, my friend. Give a digital round of applause for Clinton Trucks for putting up with me and being very good game master.
Did Clint get a haircut? It looks good.
Yeah, and he's a handsome boy. Okay, so let me just talk over my screaming 2-year-old and say that you guys each get +1 crew XP for executing what I would call a successful sabotage operation. Someone was trying to raise a demon, and you sabotaged their attempt. So shadows aren't the thieves, spies, and saboteurs. I think you sabotaged it successfully. So +1 crew XP for that. +1 XP for contending with challenges above your station. Yes, you definitely contended with challenges above your station. Take it with it. +1 XP for bolstering crew's reputation or developing a new one. That one I don't know. You guys stayed pretty quiet and hidden, as is your wont.
We tried to develop our reputation, maybe with the grinders, but I don't know if we did it successfully.
No, you went out of your way to save them.
Yeah.
You went out of your way to save some of them, didn't you?
Yeah.
We did.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and take one for that. You did. You now have a reputation for, they're the grinders of the gang you guys pay up to, and you now have a reputation with the ones that survived of being ride or die and trying to save people when the shit hits the fan. And then let's see, expressing goals drives our inner nature of the crew. So what do we think? I mean, is part of the crew's inner nature that they sometimes are very heroic like this, or is this a one-time deal, or what do you think? Oh, look how little this sheet.
I feel like ultimately this was an act of self-preservation over.
It's the apocalypse. I mean, I don't think it's crazy to want to thwart the apocalypse.
Yeah, right. But I also don't think that everybody would have done this. There are people who would have tried to use it as a bargaining chip or sell it. Who knows? And we did the right thing, and I think that does reflect our beliefs. I think we do help people. We help people.
What do you think, Bina, Jaffe? Do you think that it's that saving the world that way is something that this crew does? It's part of their inner nature?
Yeah, I think in that we know that the Skovlanders are going to be taking the brunt of the apocalypse first. So like we just know that like our people aren't going to survive a demon. Like maybe everybody else figures it out. Not not our folk.
That's so very Skovlander to be like, I mean, if there's a demon, it'll eat us first.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I mean when I talk about it being an act of self-preservation.
Yeah, it does feel like protect your own type of thing. Like if it was a demon that was specifically attacking the Akarosi, I don't think we would have done anything about it.
Let's go ahead and give them an XP for that one, Mr. Clinton Trucks. Thank you. You've convinced me. I like that. Okay, so now let's talk about your rep to see if you gained any prestige among Duskfall's criminals. So you gain 2 rep automatically every time you play. But guys, you contended with whoever was on that boat. I'll just let you know. It wasn't the full Leviathan Hunters, which are tier 4 or 5, but it was sort of a group among them, which is tier 3. So that means you earn 5. You earn 5 rep this time.
Ooh.
The 2 you get automatically plus, and that brings you all the way to full. You didn't even need 5. You only needed like 3. So here's the deal.
Does it carry over to the next?
They're one shy, Jared. Right?
No,
2 plus 3.
No, sir. But look at the turf, my friend. The turf.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
This is why you grab. Yeah. Get out of here.
Take our win away.
You've sandbagged us for the last time.
He wants it for himself.
So that's the reason you want to grab turf is because, and you guys grabbed your information network, which counts as turf or it counts as a claim. And that is why you, wait a second. Clinton Trucks, come back, please.
Hello.
I might be wrong about this. We may have shooed you for no reason. Is turf just turf? It's not the information network. It's just turf, right?
Turf is turf.
So do they have any turf? Why is that marked?
We have a bookstore.
We have a bookstore.
Your layer that's in the center.
We have a bedroom above the bookstore.
No, I'm afraid, guys. Clinton Trucks, you were right, but accidentally. Let's erase that little.
Good enough for me.
I can't believe that.
Wait, let's erase that little piece of turf because they have informants. They don't have turf. So you guys, I mean, you're a criminal gang, and at some point you'll have to just start taking turf from people. So wait, with 5,
but our influence, Jared, our influence extends through all of Charhollow and into Duskfall. The halls of power.
I agree with all of that, and your informants can tell you a lot of things that can help you take more turf. But until you get more turf, I guess you're not quite there. But it's okay because you also need 8 coin to go up a tier, and right now you guys have 2 coin.
We spent it all on Urich's friend.
Maybe so.
Trucks. He's always one step ahead of us, that Clinton Trucks.
So here's the thing. Here's what I would think about if I were the Kenahora. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you I would look for a job that earns you money because you want to fill up to 8 coin and then maybe a job that earns you money and gives you turf because you want to get that.
Landscaping.
Yeah, right. Open a landscaping business, sure, long-term project, but you want to kind of get some turf. I'm going to say turf 18 more times. Turf. You want to get some
Turf.
turf, and you want to get that 8 coin, and then you'll go up to tier 1, and you'll be much more powerful. So think about that. Okay, heat. This is my favorite thing. Is the Kenahora are the opposite of the crew, the Tin Whistles. Last time the Tin Whistles earned like 4 like heat, and then they were adding more heat, like outrageously exposed. But the Kenahora, you guys, I'm giving you 2 heat, standard exposure. I think the only, and you wouldn't even have gotten that, except that you did have to kind of talk to those like Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Preservation, rather, boats, and kind of mess with them. So some people did technically kind of see your faces, but okay. Payout. All right. So I'm supposed to tell you how much coin you earned from this. Well, this wasn't really a coin job. You earn 2 coin by default, but unfortunately, good deeds don't really pay. So you saved the city, but you're only getting 2 coin for it. So let's add 2 coin to the vaults.
Just income from the bookshop.
Here's what I think has happened: is that the grinders and other people in Char Hollow have said, use Drakk's books. If you need to, go to Drakk's books. And so the shop is like much busier now because the grinders have made an alliance with you, and they're telling their people like to go and use your shop. Other bookshops are being ignored in favor of Drakk's books, and that's where your 2 coin came from. But you owe 1 coin to the grinders because you pay up to them. So there you go. Will you guys pay that coin, or do you want to start some beef with the grinders?
Probably pay it.
I'm fine paying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already lost some other people on that mission.
Everybody's annoyed at me for hosing them on money. So if you have any kind of argument about why you would earn more coin for what you did, let me know, and I will hear those arguments.
I think there's the argument that we saved the world and there's hazard pay involved, but I don't think that
From who though?
Yeah, nobody up there is a secret mission.
Therein squats the toad. We had to keep it really quiet. We had to keep to our shadowy nature, so there's nobody to raise the stink with.
Yeah, if anything, we definitely lost money on the whole project.
And
most of our coin went to like buying off the guy, right? The inspector guy?
Yeah.
The Leviathan hunters, I think. Yeah.
Which was a huge move.
And we killed those guys.
So, so you know, I mean, like...
Maybe the checks never clear because those guys got killed. I don't know.
Here's what I'll say. I just want you to know that I thought it through. Like, I'm not just saying 2 coin to be a mean GM. I really think that this is what happens when you're an altruistic scoundrel. It's like, you spent on an operation, and now you're down a little coin. So maybe the Kenahora are looking to make a big score next time so that they can fill their coffers again and go up to tier 1.
We got to get some scratch.
It is now time for entanglements. That means we're going to roll a die. We're going to roll as many die as you have heat. Which is you have like 1 heat, and I believe
2. I believe.
Doesn't somebody have an ability that relates to
somebody has an ability?
Oh no, I'm sorry. You have heat. You have a heat from 0 to 3, so you are rolling on this one die per wanted level. You have 0 wanted level, so just roll a die. Or actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll 2, and we're gonna take the lesser. Because you don't have any wanted level. You're at 0 wanted level.
Is it a crew ability that we have that deals with entanglements, or is it somebody's personal ability?
You do. Let's bring out the crew sheet. I think it's the crew sheet. If we look at the crew sheet,
so. It's like slippery or something.
Yeah, that's the one.
We've got something.
When you roll your entanglements, roll twice and keep the one you want. Then reduce heat on the crew. I'm sorry. So when you roll entanglements, roll twice and keep the one you want. And when you use the downtime action, reduce heat, you take plus 1 die. Nice. So right now we're about to roll entanglements. Who would like to roll? Grab 2d6.
Aaron.
He's the guy.
Okay.
Elazar, you're the mastermind.
6 and 2.
Okay, so 2 is, when you have 0, you roll 2 die, you take the lesser. So 2 is your result. And that's going to give you gang trouble, and that means that there's some kind of problem with people that work for you or are associated with you. In this case, probably the Drudges, your information network of Skovlanders. Would you like to roll again and take the new result?
Do we get to pick between the two?
Yeah, I thought we had like advantage on.
Let me see here. It says when you roll.
Well, I just rolled two. I rolled 2 dice. I thought that's what that meant.
So no. Look, you have you roll your wanted level. Your wanted level right now is 0. So whenever you have a 0 in a trait, you roll 2 dice and take the lesser. Okay. You're gonna, if you want, you can roll again right now to see if you get a different entanglement, and then you can choose which one you want.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, double ones.
Double ones. So that's going to also land you on gang trouble. So in this particular case, it made no never mind. And I'll tell you what is happening right now. The drudges, your Skovlander, like they're like laundresses, they're like butlers and valets and like coachmen that are all through the homes of Char Hollow and around Duskfall, who are spies for you. They are being evicted from their homes by bluecoats and herded into wagons to be relocated in the Dunslow ghetto. You've returned home to your Char Hollow neighborhood. You see that this is happening. You probably are all together and see that this is like being carried out while you were off saving the whole city. Okay, you have to do something about it now. You have to stand up for them right now, or you will forfeit one of your rep.
What was the other gang problem?
That was the only one that he rolled.
That's the one we got.
Yeah, he rolled twice, but he got the same result.
Oh, okay.
To stop them from moving them into the ghetto? Christ.
Well, like, no, it's not like a whole mission. Just right now, like let's make it very, very localized. Like you see an actual family right now being kicked out of their house by bluecoats. The father's being beaten down with billy clubs while his kids cry, and his kids are being lifted onto a wagon. So this makes you do something right now, or you guys decide to remain quiet, think about it, act later, but you forfeit 1 rep.
Can we mess up the cart?
Yeah, if you want to do something subtle
You're
to the cart.
Captain Wreck, Jordan.
I can wreck it.
I can wreck too.
Get poor Violet in there.
Yep.
Put a ghost on him.
Poor Violet, I think would like to. Well, maybe she could attune to try to wreck, but I think honestly it's as simple as like, a loose bolt, and she's gonna go over and ping it unscrewed.
Okay, so I think that in this particular case, these are excellent tactics that you're coming up with.
Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart and it's how you guys work, but this calls for like
some real deal
public display of defiance. You have to prove to your crew, the Drudges, who are probably all watching out of their windows, that you are on their side and you are fighting for them. And if you don't do that now in a public display of defiance against the bluecoats, you forfeit 1 rep.
I got an idea.
We have to do something.
I think we should get on the roofs and shoot guns at them.
Holy shit, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I got guns.
I think the bluecoats should be sent a message that the Skovlanders of Char Hollow will not go quietly into a ghetto.
Sure. I think it would be if there's any way that we can kind of Three Amigos this, like hand out guns, get everyone to join in so they don't really know who did it. And
I'm all for that, but that sounds like a longer term.
You're right.
Well, here's what I'll say.
Sort of a situation.
Here's what I'll say. You can characterize it however you want. I would like for one of you to roll an action, and it could incorporate a little bit of what Jordan is saying. You know what I mean? Like creating sort of a mob to help you, depending on what action you're using. I want one of you to roll it. And by the way, you don't forfeit your rep. If you're doing this is crazy defiant. Like, see that you are on their side and you are declaring war against the bluecoats. So you can go ahead and do this, but I just want to roll to see how it goes and what happened. So what action are we going to use? And I almost want to ask Elazar to do it since it was kind of his idea.
Yeah, it's got to be. I would like to help him if I can.
In this particular case, this is kind of an outside of the score.
Really.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Let's see.
My big abilities are probably not going to work very well. So maybe survey. Can I find a good layout of the area to where the sort of angles of gunfire are coming from all directions? So they're just sort of getting shot at from the tenements and they don't know where and they just need to leave.
I love that. So let's have a survey roll.
To kill. Okay.
And Jordan Dahl, poor Violet actually can help Elazar. She can just take 1 stress to give him a die.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
only have 1 in survey.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So you get a die. I'm just trying to think how she could do that. Maybe she loans him her spirit mask, and she's like, "Use this."
Great. Okay. So yeah, Elazar, you put on poor Violet's weird spirit mask. By the way, poor Violet, what does your spirit mask look like again?
It's kind of your standard, very creepy, semi-shattered porcelain doll face situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
And of course, it opens your perceptions to non-Euclidean motifs within Duskfall's ghost field, which allows you to pick perfect perches for you and your team to start firing at these people where you will have maximum cover and they will be the most exposed. And so that adds +1 die to your survey. And poor Violet, you take a stress. Are we ready to roll with 2 dice just to see how this went?
Okay, 2 dice.
Cop attack.
All right.
Good thing we already negotiated our heat.
That is a 6.
Hey,
Holy shit.
the man can roll.
With your 6, I rule that family is escapes under the onslaught of Bina and Urich and poor Violet. I mean, maybe it's not all guns. Maybe stones are being thrown
Honestly,
as well.
Rocks,
I think that this place is at a boiling point. You know, 1 shot goes off, rocks are going to start hurling from windows and
books.
Shots ring out. Books. Somebody throws a copy of TV Guide. A guy throws his lunch.
Feels good to throw the book at the police.
Very good. And so the blue coats, there was only a small contingent of them. They turned tail and go off on their goat-driven wagon off into the city.
You let them peer pressure you back into goats? Oh man!
Can we?
Horses. It was horses.
No, Andrew.
I love goats.
I like the goats.
It's goats and
Do
horses.
they wear badges?
All right.
I have
Okay.
questions.
As long as they're still horses. I remember you wanted horses, so
you know what? You know what? You're right, Andrew. Thank you. You know what? They're horse-driven wagons.
Oh, way to go, Andrew.
You deserve, Jared, you deserve these things.
Wait, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. The leopard-driven wagon.
Now we're talking.
Okay,
Jared,
2 goats,
why you're a
then
pro.
2 horses, then 2 cheetahs.
Yeah,
Oh,
there are
Lord.
leopards.
I'm sorry to derail us.
It's an entire zoo. Okay, no, that's quite all right. Derail us all you'd like. Okay, so now what I am so I will say that after that, the Scovelander citizens they come out of their tenements and they thank you all and they're talking to you. You know, the drudges are saying it looks like war is coming. The Kenahora. Do you respond at all?
Yeah, I think, from among them, the little girl speaks up. And she says, "Don't worry. The Kenahora protects us wherever they are."
And the drudges look at the rest of you and go, "Is she even Scovelander? What is she?"
That's I'm just trying to help.
Very good. We'll end that scene there. You kept your rep, and now we will take you back to your lair, Drakk's books here in Char Hollow. And I have the.
Jared, before we go on, are we going to resolve the playbook stuff?
Yes.
Aaron and I?
Yeah.
That's what I was about to do. I was about to tell you.
Okay, just
that there is no additional cost for filling the XP tracker and getting new special abilities. So let's talk. Bina Jaffe, what is your new special ability?
Well, she's getting more shooty, so I'm thinking sharpshooter. But it's pretty fun to give Barrow a arcane ability here. But I'm not sure what these arcane abilities do. Is there a place that I can look that up?
Is that in Ghost Hunter?
Ghost Hunter, Ghost Form, Mind Link, or Arrow Swift.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. So with Ghost Hunter, your hunting pet is imbued with spirit energy, Ghost Form, Mind Link, or Arrow Swift. So these are certainly detailed somewhere in the book. But I mean, I think they're pretty self-explanatory too, which is one of the nice things about Blades in the Dark. It's kind of all right there on the sheet for you. You don't really have to look a lot of things up. Ghost Form, I think, will allow your pet to become intangible, and I probably would also give it advantages when it's like traveling through the ghost field and things like that.
Sure.
You Mind Link literally means you share a mind with it. You can warg it. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Here we go. Ghost Form allows the pet to transform into ectoplasmic vapor as if it were a spirit. Mind Link allows the pet and hunter to share their senses and thoughts telepathically. Look at that. I got them both right already.
Oh.
And then Arrow Swift allows the pet to move extremely quickly, outpacing any other creature or vehicle.
Whoa, sweet.
Huh.
It's
Now, there are 2 spots beside Ghost Hunter. Oh, you can get multiple things.
I think, it's just to give Barrow more stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think about it. Do you have a plan, Aaron?
Aaron, do you know what you would like to get? Let's see. Let's look at our friend Elazar.
I'm not at 100%. Yeah.
Well, in that case,
foresight maybe, or
foresight, yeah.
Or I can choose special abilities from other sources. What does that even mean?
I think it means you can. Sorry, go ahead, Jared.
That's when you're a veteran, and I think that means you have to kind of fill some stuff up first.
Some kind of multi-class situation.
Yeah, it's like a multi-class situation.
All right. I think I'm just going to do sharpshooter. We just started a war with the police. I should be able to do some damage here. Just so that means you just clear the XP and you start over.
That's correct. And it says you can push yourself to do one of the following: make a ranged attack at extreme distance beyond what's normal for the weapon, or unleash a barrage of rapid fire to suppress the enemy. Yeah, Bina Jaffe. Bina Jaffe's in the lair, working with her gun, cleaning it, preparing for war. Elazar, how will you prepare for war?
That's a good question. He's probably going to lean into what he does well. So foresight seems good mechanically, but there's also this weaving the web ability, which sort of seems like what Elazar might do to try to prepare for war, is just try to use his information network to, especially if he's interested in like something like arming the Scovelanders of Char Hollow for potential insurrection of some kind.
These are both great. I mean, assisting a teammate without paying stress would help you, I think, during a score. Weaving the web will help you just set yourselves up to be more successful in a score from the jump.
Okay. I think given our current situation, weaving the web sort of makes the most sense.
Yeah, you're in downtime.
Narratively.
Yeah, you're in downtime. Why not go ahead and start weaving that web? All right. And so Elazar, he immediately begins, maybe sending out messages to the people of Char Hollow, the Scovelanders of Char Hollow, that about, war is coming, something is happening, and we have got to act. All right, guys, it is now time that you can choose your downtime activities. Okay. Elazar has a power called Calculating. A special ability. You can give yourself or another crew member +1 downtime action. Other than that, each of you get 2. And let's also say this. We'll say that if at any point you want to kind of free play, find out information about something that's happening in the city, or just let me know another random action that you do to kind of role play your character, like kind of let me know how life is going for your character this week. Please do that. But I'm going to begin with Urich. Urich, what downtime activity would you like to take first? And would you like to hear your choices, my friend?
Yes, please.
Very good. You can acquire an asset temporarily for your gang, like an expert or a cohort of guys, a vehicle, or some sort of service, like the use of a warehouse or a lawyer. So that's called acquiring an asset. You can start a long-term project. That's where you kind of roll to fill in a clock, and when it's full, something cool happens for your character that he's been working on long term. You can recover. You could seek treatment. Very luckily, your friend Bina Jaffe has a friend named Melvier who's a physiker you've all met, and you could kind of look to Melvier to kind of heal some harm on you. You can reduce your heat. You could train, where you mark XP on your XP track for any attribute you want, but you guys are particularly trained in, I think it's prowess. Let me see. Yeah, you have prowess training, so you get 2 XP under prowess when you train in prowess. But you guys could train in anything else that you wanted to train in, and you could also indulge your vice to get rid of stress. So, Urich, what do you think you do?
Is gather information one of those actions?
It isn't, but I'll allow you a gather information roll while you're doing that as well. While you pick an action, and we'll resolve that, and I'll let you gather some information.
Great. Well, I'll tell you what I want to do, and you tell me how it fits in and which action. So, ever since Urich saw Melvier administer that strange compound to his friend Beldrin, who lives in this very not comatose state, but very detached from reality. Melvier said it was very costly, and it did indeed cost us. So Urich's first activity is he wants to, rather selfishly, especially given that there's this beef with the Bluecoats that just erupted, he wants to find out who Melvier's supplier is, where he gets his compounds and such from.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So you can just go and talk to Melvier if you want. And he will tell you if, I don't think you have to even roll to gather information. And he will say to you, he's like, you go into his like little pharmacy, which is kind of like a little general store. And he's like, he looks around and he's like, okay, we're closed, to like someone who's like standing there, and they're like, why? And he's like, we're closed. And he gets them out and shuts the door and locks it, and is like, yeah.
Where's
Bina?
Bina's busy with her gun. That compound you gave my friend, who supplies that? Where did you get that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember you were looking for more. Look, I don't think it's even possible to get more.
Why is that?
Well, because I need a very, very rare botanical. In fact, this plant only grows in one place. It's called snow petal, the plant.
And what's the one place it grows?
I got a little bit from the guy that designed it. It grows in Giant Park. Giant Park, you would know this, Urich, possibly, is this incredible park. Because there's no sun in Duskfall, or in the Empire. Growing plants is very tough. A lot of what you guys eat day to day is grown on these weird farms called radiant farms, where electroplasm lights are used to grow strange plants, and then mushroom farms in caves are used to feed you all. But Giant Park is something special. Imagine a zoo for plants. There's this huge park where you can kind of like walk and look through these transparent enclosures where they've grown all these plants that are beautiful, that look like they come from before the cataclysm. The only thing is, because they're all made out of strange chemicals and in electroplasm and structure, they're all horribly poisonous and deadly in their kind of raw natural form, which is why Giant Park has impregnable enclosures around all of its growths. And people literally stroll through and look through like into the enclosures at the plants, but can never actually go close and touch them.
It's like Madame Tussauds for plants.
It is like Madame Tussauds
Botanic Gardens.
It is a botanical garden.
Botanical gardens. That's awesome.
And who makes this snow pedal?
Well, it was a project by the city for many years, as you'll recall. August, the architect, designed the impregnable enclosures that keep the plants safe. I received my supply of snow petal from some of the chemists that developed the plants many years ago. In fact, that was the very end of my supply. If only there was a way to break into the enclosures in Giant Park. But that would be way, way too deadly and dangerous.
But if I were to bring you more of this snow petal, you could make more?
Yes. Yes, it shouldn't be too difficult. But you'd have to be careful. You'd have to keep it in an airtight container where none of it could spill out or get too much exposure to the regular air of the city.
Okay. And this August, does he have a family name? Where might I find him?
I mean, I wouldn't know exactly where to look for him. White Crown, perhaps? He might have some property in Six Towers. He is a master architect and has designed many impregnable enclosures. When someone needs for what they put in a building to never come out, they call on August.
Well,
and he only goes by one name. It's like an artist thing. No, you're not understanding me, Urich. The snow petal that I got never grew in Giant Park. It was from the chemist that developed the flowers in the first place. I'm sorry that I had to explain that a second time.
Melvir.
Why are you here? Where is Bina?
I told you, she's working on her gun. She's obsessed with it.
Okay, well, tell her I say hello, and I hope that the work I did on her has got her up and spry again. Oh, I love that old broad.
I'll pass on this sentiment.
All right. Now get out of here. I should probably pretend to sell this crap. Cling, cling, cling.
Cool.
So you have an opportunity now, which is to break into Giant Park to steal the snow petal flower. That will give you a supply of a very rare herb that will not only make Veldrin lucid, maybe long term, and I would say it might even earn you like an expert, because Veldrin is very smart, and if you were to cure him, you'd suddenly have a super useful ally. And that is the opportunity that you have found out. But would you like to also pick a downtime activity, Mr. Urich?
Oh, that did not gobble up one of my downtime activities?
No. That was free play, and we can kind of go through free play and out of free play. But the downtime activities are the explicitly stated,
okay, great.
Acquire an asset, long-term project, things like that.
Then I need to recover some stress by experimenting with some poisons and drugs.
Yeah. Peppermints cripple mankind.
All right.
I go in the back of Elazar's shop and dose myself with something terrible.
Nice.
Okay, what is your stress level right now?
It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, yeah, you probably won't overindulge. What are you dosing yourself with? I mean, look, you don't have to like look through the book and make sure you have a specific.
Oh, I've got it open right here.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
I'm dosing myself with some skull fire. It causes incapacitating migraines, but I'm trying to ingest it to not only understand it, but I have this venomous special ability, so I can like exude these like poisons and drugs through touch or just like through my pores or something.
Elazar comes in and opens a window.
Yeah.
Bina, I would keep Barrow away from.
Yeah, he'll eat anything that's laying around.
Yeah. All right. That sounds great. What is your lowest attribute, Urich? And attributes are those sort of horizontal, like let's see, or no, I'm sorry, vertical. So you have 1 resolve, you have 2 prowess, and 1 insight. So it doesn't matter. Either insight or resolve can be rolled right now, and you need to roll 1 die. One die.
Just one.
And this is how much indulging your vice will clear.
Please give me 5. Got a 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh, God.
Okay, very good.
So I remove 5, right?
Yeah, that's right. And so when you finally come out of your skullfire migraine, you can smell it on your fingertips, and like it never kind of quite leaves. The taste stays in your mouth, and you know, Urich, that you have assimilated the compound, and this proves so many of your theories once again. So many.
I think Bina looks up from cleaning her gun and says, "How do you look better?"
Yeah. Like my eyes are just like exploded from like hemorrhaging.
Been through the keyhole, man. I saw the other side.
When Urich hasn't recently ingested a bunch of poison, he looks haggard and tired. Yeah, bloodshot eyes.
Yeah.
But once he's like eaten a bunch of poison, he looks fit.
Honestly, maybe this is exactly what your chubby little bat needs. A little skullfire will wake him up.
Like, do you want a pinch? Just a pinch? No? Okay.
Don't eat that.
Yeah, Barrow like cumbersomely flutters away. And so now I will turn to poor Violet. Poor Violet, what downtime activity would you like to take as your first downtime activity?
Poor Violet also needs to relieve some stress. This has been a stressful few days, to say the least.
Okay.
And I think she's going to do so. So her vice is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's going to do so by going to her home and visiting with Skovelander, kind of she's in charge of the house staff there within her parents' home, and I think her parents probably gave her some Akarosi name that they could remember. They're like Victoria or something, but poor Violet and the people who truly know her as Auntie Whispers, and she will be going to spend some time with Auntie Whispers and do seances to help sharpen her. Auntie Whispers can help guide the horrible forces that tear.
Who even knew about Auntie Whispers? I'm adding Auntie Whispers to your strange friends, and in fact, I noticed on my version of your sheet, you don't have any strange friends. So guess what? You do now. Auntie Whispers.
Cool.
Auntie Whispers is your strange friend.
And I think Auntie Whispers is the person who took this strange odd girl who was kind of spurned by her own people and was like, I see you're strange. I'm strange as well. And like helps her kind of guide, some degree of gain some degree of control over the spirit world. And this is how they do it with these kind of these spirit board sessions.
Very good. So spirit board, or maybe this time Auntie Whispers is like, make the puppet out of clay, and like you're making like little like give it a secret name, whisper it in its ear, like, and you guys are like out like out on the grounds. You're not even in the house, because if anybody saw you doing this, these are the most secret rites. Auntie Whispers Very secret.
I will say there is. I'm going to use my second action downtime action for something to actually build an item. So I think maybe this is like, they're having tea and doing the tea reading. My grandma used to read tea leaves. Do you know about that?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe
that's
like
awesome.
A scrying sesh.
Let's see how your scrying sesh goes. How much stress do you have?
I've got so much stress, Jared. I got
how much?
5 total.
Okay, and it looks like your lowest attribute, you have 1 dot. So that means you can roll 1 die.
Okay.
And you don't want that 6 to come up because that will mean you have overindulged.
Oh no!
And that will mean something negative will happen.
Oh well,
Too much tea.
Like book madness, right?
Whoa,
like Elazar's book madness.
Mm-hmm.
That was
so. It will poor Violet. Is she about to see something in the tea leaves which shakes her to her very soul, to her very plasm?
She's not.
How did
this
she do?
time. She got a 3, but it was a very weird roll. I will say it kipped up and kind of paused, and I saw that 6, and then it tipped back down. It was very harrowing on this end.
Thank you for retconning the suspense. And 3 is good. So you've lost the majority of your stress. That's excellent. And since you already know what your second activity would be, what you'd like for it to be, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you would like it to be?
Okay, I think I would like to train, which will fill my final XP bar.
In which attribute?
My playbook.
Actually, when you train in insight, prowess, or resolve.
Oh, I can't. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the wrong. I'm looking at a reference that says you can.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that you can only train in insight, prowess, or resolve, and then you fill up those XP bars beside those things, and then you get like another dot.
So this one says when you spend time in training, mark 1 XP on the XP track for an attribute or playbook advancement.
Well, look at me. I'm full of crap. And you may absolutely do that. Yes.
Heard of it?
That's the official. And I was wrong, and I apologize. So
okay.
I would give you 2 XP, except you don't need it. You're going to train with your second downtime activity.
To train this, and I am going to, I think this is, poor Violet spills her guts about everything with Rose. I think Auntie Whispers knows the very dark secret. I think they're the only 2 people who know it, but I think she's like, she's so angry, and she's angrier than ever, and she's hurting people. She shot a guy in the face. It was terrifying. And I think in this kind of spilling her guts, she's like, shh, come with me, come with me. And they build together these kind of, but it's like a black stick woman made of twigs, and they do a binding. And I would like to learn the ritual.
Yes.
Special ability.
Well, if you have filled up the XP on your playbook with that training, you are entitled to a new special ability. So you can now study an occult ritual or create a new one to summon a supernatural effect or being. You know the arcane methods to perform ritual sorcery. You begin with 1 ritual already learned. Wow. Maybe we'll look up what some of the rituals that are available are. You can also create your own, Jordan, so don't feel constrained by those. But the other thing I'll say is I think the tea leaves showed you that, all hell is about to break loose. You handled it well. It didn't like throw you into some kind of shock. But like that's why you need to know. You need to power up right now. You need to get ready. You're the best around. Reading tea leaves and making puppets. Okay.
What a weird just song for that particular montage.
I love it.
Yeah.
Slowly concentrating on spells and reading books.
So we'll find out what your ritual is. Secret GM, if you could kind of find out if there are any rituals in the books, and Jordan, you can kind of think about the kind of thing you want.
Yeah, she's, I will say, trying to gain some degree of control over over Lovely Rose.
Oh, yeah. And actually, Lovely Rose, have we ever defined her in any way? No, we haven't, have we? So Lovely Rose is going to be your down arrow friend. Anti-Whisper is your up arrow friend, which means they generally help you out. And Lovely Rose is going to be your ghost friend who's like a down arrow friend, which means that they often are like a pain in the ass to you.
Yeah,
cause
sure
problems
is.
for you. So
when she shot that cop, I was like, okay, well, we got to do something about this.
Well, you're a down arrow friend.
You're a down arrow, and you always have been.
You know, you're being a real down arrow right now. Let's talk to our friend Bina Jaffe. Bina Jaffe, what downtime activity would you like for your first downtime activity?
So I wanted to ask if turf is an asset to be acquired, or is that a...
It's a claim, which means you have to go on a score to claim it.
Okay.
It would mean like kind of looking around you and finding out what other gangs are around you, and kind of taking it from them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean getting in a knife fight with them or going to war with them. It might mean that you purchase it from them or trick them out of their turf. You know, any kind of score that you can imagine, you could kind of taking away their smuggling route, etc., etc. So something to think about. Would you like to do a little bit of investigation about other gangs or like the turf around you?
Yeah, that feels like I don't have a long-term project. That's what investigation is, right? That's what I wrote.
Well, you could just do a gather information as sort of free play, and then after that, if you wanted to relieve stress or do some other official downtime activity,
yeah, let's see who's hanging out around here that we can trick out of their land.
Okay, great. Give me a gather information roll. What action are you using to gather the information, Bina? You can pick any action you'd like.
Roll, right?
That's perfectly fine. Do a hunt roll.
4 is the high roll.
Okay, 4 is that's very good. You've done very well, and so I will tell you that here's what's going on the street. I'm going to tell you 3 things that are going on the street. Okay, so the Scovelanders are being rounded up in Char Hollow by the Bluecoats. As of now, they have trumped up warrants for the people that they're hitting, but you can tell that it's definitely about to be just a massive invasion of Bluecoats to take everyone and get them out to the Dunslow Ghetto. This is being kind of spearheaded by a Bluecoat named Commander Judd Cooper. And you're hearing this from the Drudges and from other Scovelanders in Char Hollow. They have heard that that's who's behind this. Ulf Ironborn, a Scovelander out of Coleridge, is making a name for himself, trying to rise in the underworld. Like, say, if there were different tiers of the underworld, he's trying to rise in tier. He's savagely grasping at more turf and recruiting more soldiers to do that. And some of the gangs that used to hang out here in Char Hollow and like give the Bluecoats the business have gone over to Ulf Ironborn now. So it's not as protected. It's kind of like they've left Char Hollow to go over to Coleridge, and you guys are you have less like young war ready fighters. And let's say you got 4, didn't you? Okay. I should give you more information. Is there anything in particular you want to know about? Oh, the Crows are a gang that aren't actually in Char Hollow, but you find out that they are looking for Melvier, a Physiker. You find out that they are searching for him. And when you go to his shop, it's closed. Yeah, you know why? Because you got a 4. He likes to gamble, and he owes them a lot of money.
Oh boy!
And they run a lot of gambling operations in their part of the city. So
maybe he does it to relieve stress. Don't judge.
Right. I think he probably does. Just a guess.
I was just saying in the mechanics of the game.
Thank you. So that's the information you've gotten, which
Okay.
that's a lot of information.
Mhm.
But let's see. I feel like I told you about 3 things. Let me tell you about one more thing. The grinders, whom kind of you guys pay up to, they are they're upset because they have lost their whisper. Their whisper has disappeared with a team of guys. They sent her on some kind of job, on some kind of score, and she hasn't come back.
We have a whisper.
Yeah, we do.
We could rent out in exchange.
That's your solution. I was
Hey,
like, she
do I
can help
take this
find her.
trial?
Oh no, she just fills in. Great.
I do
Sure.
feel like this is the type of place where
You don't mind, right, Violet?
the selling of people is frequent and casual.
All right.
The whisper's name is Hetty Elmore. Hetty Elmore.
Okay.
And Hetty Elmore and her a small contingent of muscle that she took with her on a job are missing. So that's just another thing that's kind of going on. They tell you when you go talk to the grinders. So Bina Jaffe has hunted around and gotten a really good lay of the neighborhood as it stands and what's going on in the neighboring districts as well. And so now I ask you, is there a specific downtime activity that you'd like to do? So that was your gathering information.
Well, I was gonna I'm gonna go relieve some stress. We had a stressful occasion.
Yes,
I don't know if you guys heard, but we saved the world. So I'm gonna go chill out by drinking and playing checkers with my old man buddies.
Yes, very good. So that makes total sense. And how much stress do you have?
I have 5.
5. Okay, so very unlikely that you'll overindulge, but it's always possible, I suppose. And the stupor is what you like. Getting drunk in this weird tea house combination bar and playing checkers will do it for you. So
brightly lit. I'm picturing like an auction house, like a bingo room. It's like definitely like a community center where they have like book fairs and stuff.
What's it called again? I have to write it down.
It's called Zekhiel's Game Room.
I love it.
But I think it's like a
sounds like a
general
Skolin
space.
children's TV show.
And we're drinking Aquavit, certainly out of red plastic cups.
I mean,
whatever we found in the
the checkers just adds to the stupor. And,
she's bad at it. The more drunk she is, the worse she is at checkers.
Then she may roll 1 die because her lowest attribute has only 1 dot, and she may see how much stress she relieves.
I rolled a 3.
There you go. 3 of the 5 are gone. Very good. You feel much better. And I think about what your next downtime activity will be, and you as well, Urich. But I'm going to hop now to our friend Elazar, Drakkher. Elazar, what would you like to do with your time, your downtime?
Man, oh man. I think Elazar has some information gathering and stuff like that he wants to do. As far as my downtime activity, I have 8 stress. So I need to
roll some dice.
I need to relieve some of that.
Well, let's deal with the information gathering first, and tell me what kind of information you would like to gather.
Wow.
I think first, even before the information gathering, Elazar wants to make contact with his golem.
Oh, yes.
Elazar, in the past and throughout his sort of history with this golem, Elazar has been terrified at the concept of having created a creature of violence.
Yes.
And given current events, he has had a change of heart.
Okay.
And rather than trying to quell the violence, he wants to use the golem.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. The golem is so hard to find and so hard to control except when you are playing him. That I think, if you don't mind, Elazar, I might call it acquiring an asset.
Okay.
And what you do is you roll your tier, which is 0. So you would roll 2 dice and take the lower. And then whatever you roll will determine the quality of your asset. And so the golem is like, I mean, the golem is a monster that should be like tier 4, tier 5, but it's so unpredictable and strange and hard to kind of like talk to that, in fact, it ends up being sometimes tier 1 or tier 2 because of its sort of very erratic nature. But Elazar, as you go searching through the city for your golem, if you do very well on this acquire asset roll, your next score could have like 6, a high tier golem who's ready to kick some ass, and that might be a really good thing for you. So are you ready to roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, very good. Give me 2 dice and we're going to take the lower. I hope you do well.
Is there anything I can do to bolster this roll?
Yes, you can pay 2 coin for +1 quality once you have rolled. So if you rolled like that he's only like a tier 1 golem and you wanted to pay 2 coin to make him a tier 2 golem, you could do that.
Cool.
Okay, but nothing to help the roll itself.
And the golem will only help you for 1 score. He is a temporary asset because he has run off into the city and is behaving as a beast.
Sure. Yeah. I guess my thoughts for the golem was trying to harness that in a more less tangible way for us and more just to try to help in the world, but let's do this.
Well, listen, we can do both things because one is one is narrative and one is maybe more score oriented. Let's see how it goes.
Let's do it. 2 dice, lower result. Come on. That is a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, the kid.
So that's 5. So you roll your crow's tier to determine quality of temporary asset for 1 score. So you can give him like, he's basically going to be tier 5 for the next score. And if you want to, what are you telling him to do? So you find him in like under like a bridge, and what leads you to him is like all of these dead like small creatures, like bats and rats, and he isn't eating them because he doesn't need to eat. He's just like broken them. And when you find him, you can tell that he's just trying to figure out how bodies work when they're made of flesh. And he looks up at you with like a rat, and he's like looking at you.
Hi.
Sure, I'm gonna sort of, take the rat gently and put it down, and take the creature's hand and explain to it what is happening in the city, and that they are moving. They're moving us because they're afraid of us, and they should be. And I want to try to, outside of having the golem for a score, I want the golem to, first of all, patrol this ghetto. And I want it to make it so dangerous for the bluecoats that they are terrified to go there.
The golem comes really close, and the whisper is completely incongruous with its huge kind of blocky kind of body, and it's like the smell of Ludwin, his scent, they have it on them.
Good. Follow that scent.
And he picks up the crumpled rat again and is like, I will break them.
Yes.
And then he heads off into the city petting its dead rat.
Love it.
Very well acquired, my friend.
Oh my goodness.
Do I write that down somewhere?
Yeah, write down awesome.
I think you'll remember.
There's a golem patrolling the ghetto, scaring the police.
I think it's
Not
going
just
to come up.
scaring them.
Well,
I also
narratively, this
in
means a
addition-
couple of things for you. Narratively, it means that when you go for a score related to the Blue Coats or this sort of relocation situation, you guys will get +1 to your engagement, to reflect that you have created a big advantage for yourself. And beyond that, like you can play him if you go on a score like that. You can kind of like slot him into your character pick option, like on a screen, and like hit him. He is unlocked, and in the meantime, though, he will do as you said. He will start making the Blue Coats afraid all around.
Yeah, I specifically want him to follow that scent of Ludwin to find the fucking Proud Boy Blue Coats, and
break some ankles.
I believe the term for the action that it will do is wreck.
Yes. Very good. Okay, so that is your first downtime activity, and what a one it was. And so we can come all the way back to Urich for your second downtime activity, sir.
Speaking of Ludwin, I have a little project that I'm working on. It's slowly poisoning him to death, and I was halfway through it, but I guess I'll get back to it to wrap it up.
Yes. So do you know how many of the clock wedges you had filled on that?
2. You gave me a 4 clock, right? 4
and
wedge
you got
clock?
2 of them filled. Yeah, okay, that's right. So let's do this. You've been having the drudges that work for him like very quietly, very slowly put tiny little bits of poison into his
specifically the poison, forgive me if the poison is the 1 heart calm. It's going to just slow down his heart till it never beats again.
Awesome.
Holy shit. Okay. So let's see. What action are you using to fill up the
oh gosh, I don't remember what I used last time.
Well, it can be whatever you like, of course.
Then it'll be something good, like prowling.
Mercy killing.
Let's see. Roll an action, and then you'll get a number of wedges in the clock based on how you roll. So you want to use prowling?
Yeah, I have 2 dots, so that's 2 dice, correct?
Great. If you're prowling, I think that it's like because like Urich's like hanging out outside Lubin's like a house all the time and like handing packets of poison to people and then crawling back through the bushes like to get out of there before anybody sees him. Go ahead and roll. Let's see how you do.
Cool. I get 2 dice, right?
Yes, sir. For 2 prowl, 2 dice.
My best was a 4.
Okay, so that means 2 segments, which means it's filled.
Accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Okay, so this not only helps you by one day you come to give the packet of poison to yes, Professor Ludwin. Poison Professor Ludwin with heart calm is now filled.
Yay!
What a project.
It's just good to get stuff done. Just in
I've been procrastinating.
I know. It's been sitting on the shelf, but
you get a trifold.
Normalize poisoning Professor Ludwin with heart calm.
So
also, it was totally a selfish project. It was just.
I think you mean self-care.
Well, listen. So on this particular occasion, you come to give the packet of poison to his maid, and she just opens the door and is like, "Come in." And she takes you into the kitchen, where he is laying on the table like this, with like a smile on his face, looking very dead, like completely pale. And she's like, "We did it."
Yes. I'll kind of like check. Can I check him and make sure he's dead?
Yeah, you check him and he's dead. He died. Like he died right there while he was like looking through the morning broadsheets.
Yeah, I'll kind of like clap my hands as if I just finished some carpentry. And I'll tell this woman like, "You've done good work. I was never here, but if you could perhaps do me one more favor and tell me how the blue coats react to this when they finally hear of it?
And then she goes and she finds this little cubby beside his bed, and she pulls out all these papers and hands them to you, and it's like, after he talks to the bluecoats, he always makes notes.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Thank you. Does anyone else know of these?
No, only I.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Secret notes.
You've done us a great service. Is she a Scovelander? Dredges
The
are, right?
She's a Scovelander, yeah.
Great. Yeah, I'll kind of grab her shoulder. I'll be like, you've done a great thing for Scovelanders everywhere.
She does a Scovelander blessing to you. I'm glad the fucker is dead.
I missed. What was it? Smooches?
She kisses her hand and puts it on your forehead.
Great. I'll repay
suddenly
it.
heart
That's-
calm. Your sweat, it's poisonous. It kills her. No. So
yeah, I'll give her. I'll return it if that's customary. I should know.
It's a little weird. It's more like the thing it's more like a thing your aunt does to her nephews, but you do it to her, which according to her old custom means that you're interested.
It's on. Get back here.
And she's like, "We have no time for this. We are going to war."
I'll thank her. I will take those papers and thank her profusely.
I'm going to go ahead and give you something out of those papers if you don't mind.
I'd like it.
Can I go ahead and tell it? You study it and you figure out that it is definitely notes about his secret meetings with these members of the Bluecoats who are part of a cell within the Bluecoats, who are very interested in, relocating Scovelanders. And you also get the name Commander Judd Cooper from that. Cooper is marvelous. Cooper is helping us. Cooper understands our cause, on and on and on. But also, there is a big, empty old house in Six Towers. Six Towers is the district of Duskfall that was originally where the nobles of the city lived. The nobles have since relocated to White Crown and other more upscale, more newer parts of the city. And so many old mansions stand abandoned in Six Towers. And that is where the Right, this cell within the Bluecoats, is meeting. And Commander Judd Cooper is meeting with them. And you know when they meet. They meet in the homestead, in the manse of one of Duskfall's founding families.
And it was presumed deserted.
The Woodall house. Yes, it is presumed deserted.
House. Are these notes dated?
They are.
So can I discern by reading them that I was correct in thinking that Professor Ludwig did not, in fact, turn over a new leaf, even though we scared him into tolerance the way you do?
He has you scared him into treating his staff better, which he was doing, but he was still attending meetings and talking to the Bluecoats.
Okay, great. Just want to make sure that murder was well deserved.
Now he's dead.
Yeah.
And now he's super dead.
Great.
Okay,
I will also share that. I don't know if we have to say things like this, but I would certainly share all this information with my crewmates, and I will show Elazar all the papers, all the incriminating papers for sure. Very
good. And so we have completed the downtime activities of Urich, and boy, he got some nuggets, some useful nuggets there. And so now I will ask. I'm sorry. Poor Violet is all. Do you know what your ritual is? I will just ask. Do you know what your ritual?
I think I don't, but I think I would like to be able to kind of use this binding thing to cause Lovely Rose some kind of pain. I want her to fear this thing, like basically a shock collar.
Oh God.
Okay, yeah, you want to control a ghost. You want a ritual that controls a ghost.
I just want something that she can say, "Lovely Rose, don't do that. You know what happens."
Well, there are rituals in the book, but I mean, we can certainly create our own, and that can be it.
Yeah, I have a template over here from that same website for creating your own ritual.
Very good. Okay, excellent. So you can do that. Then you can. So what does it tell you to do? What does it tell you to elaborate on?
So it say here specifically. Well, rats. Now I've lost it. Give me a split second.
No, it's okay.
Got it.
Yeah. Tell me.
Learning a ritual. Once the source of a ritual is found, that will be this little kind of stick person bound in rose thorns, I've decided.
Mm-hmm.
Once the source of a ritual is found, you may undertake a long-term project to learn the ritual. Most rituals will require an 8-segment progress clock to learn. The player and the GM answer questions about the ritual to define what it will do in play and what is required to perform it. See below.
Oh, shoot. Okay. 8-segment clock, but you used up a down.
Mia.
Oh, wait. You used up a downtime activity, right? What did you use? What did you do?
Indulge your vice.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
You indulged your vice, and then you did something else.
No, I trained to fill my clock, and I
gained the ritual
ability, which comes with one ritual already learned. So if I want to learn another one, I have to find a ritual, a source of a power, and then I have to set up this situation.
So here's what I'm going to say. You know the ritual. You know how to bind Lovely Rose with this thing now and kind of force her to do your bidding. However, it does require an action roll when you do it, right? Like you don't just automatically like activate it. Like there's you have to make the thing and I bind thee, or however poor Violet does it. So we will allow an action roll each time that you do it.
Correct.
So when you use her in a score in this way, you need to figure out what action you're using to do it. It could just be a tune or whatever.
I think it would be a tune to, get Lovely Rose back in order.
Right. Rituals take time and stress, Clinton trucks, except when you get them at a 1 as an automatic thing from your special ability by training. Yes, you have that ritual because you earned it with your new special ability, and you are ready to go with it. This one Anti-Whisper gave you for free. So I can't wait to see that in action. And now let us come back over to Bina Jaffe. I think you have a second downtime. Yeah. What would you like?
So here's my intention. Help me figure out what this is. We've just had a successful mission with the grinders. We see that people are starting to get upset because they're like the Whisper is disappearing and they've lost like a crew of guys. Is there an action or a project I can start taking to kind of worm my way into the grinders and like start whittling away at their numbers just socially, like stewing a little doubt?
The grinders who are sort of allies with you and who you have a good status with, you want to start a long-term project to kind of make them dissolve?
Just sort of absorb. I guess we have them as an asset. I don't understand what our relationship with them is.
That's okay. I can explain. So you have status with every group in the city that you kind of meet or bum into and work with.
Sure.
You currently pay up to the grinders. You have to pay them 1 coin, right?
Yeah.
When you make a score, they have a favorable, friendly relationship with you. They're not ride or die for you. They don't think you're amazing or anything. But right now they don't think that you're a meddlesome, that they're not looking to take you out, and the last time they sent people to help you. The grinders, by the way, to describe them, are a bunch of Skovlanders whose bodies were poisoned by working with the Leviathan hunting ships on the docks and moving demon blood and electroplasm, and they really want to fight back for Skovlander causes.
Right. So I don't know. I'm trying to gather turf, and I guess I could help. I could go find I could start a project to go find Hetty.
Oh, you want to find Hetty as a Long-term project? Okay.
And and try and garner a better relationship. I'm trying to get turf, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know.
I have an idea for how
I'm so sorry. Okay. Yes. If you tell me you want to get turf, you know what?
Yeah.
I normally getting turf would be getting a claim comes from a score.
For sure.
But if you want to create a long-term project for you to gain
breaking
turf,
into a warehouse, I'm sorry. I just don't understand.
Right. Okay. So you would fight another group that controls the turf. That could be a score, taking them out or scaring them away. But you could also do something start taking over someone's smuggling route or I don't know, stealing all of the really valuable stuff in a certain location, and then it kind of you kind of own that place because you have all of the stuff. That was a terrible last example, but go ahead.
Can I try to interject in this sort of recruitment process that Ulf is having among Skovlander boys?
Yeah. How are you interjecting? What do you mean?
So we just had this stance in the Skovland territory where we're trying to defend our people against the police and trying to use that moment as you're needed here. You can help your people here. Don't go fight for some mob boss in Coleridge.
Great. Yes. Let's do it as a long-term project.
That's
fine. Let's call it recruiting Ulf's recruits. Meaning you take them back from Ulf and back to Char Hollow, and basically you're recruiting them for the Kenahora. So I think that is it's so immediate and so definitely what's happening right now that I'll make it just a 4-segment clock. You have to tell me what action you're going to use to fill it.
Can I use hunt for this kind of thing just to find the people that they're that?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Slipping away with.
Sure, I'll allow that. Yeah. And so let's go ahead and roll hunt, and let's see how many pieces you fill.
Hey, a 6 and a 3. It's
pretty good.
And a 3, that means a 6.
Yeah,
and when you roll a 6 on that, what do you get? It's good. It's good when you roll a 6. If you roll a 6, you fill 3 segments. 3 of 4 are filled. 3 or 4 are filled.
She uses her knowledge of weapons and guns and is starting to try and educate these boys in terms of how to operate guns and how to find them. And they're ooh, guns.
Bina, I'm just going to throw this out here, and you guys do not have to do this. Elazar is able to give someone an extra downtime activity. Mm-hmm. If he gave you another one, you would fill the clock. You would steal some. I think you would steal some soldiers from Ulf Ironborn, bringing them back to the Kenohora's cause here in Char Hollow.
A youth militia?
Yeah, it's the boys. We're leading a revolution.
Yeah, I have an idea for another downtime ability that sort of goes hand in hand with this one, which has to do with actively fermenting uprising in the Skovland community.
Right. So that could be, I'm just throwing this out there. That could be your second, and then you could give your free extra to somebody else. You have that ability.
Well, I need to reduce my stress.
He needs all of it, Bina. He needs all of it. So you're close, but not quite. You don't quite have them completely in the palm of your hand yet, but they're thinking carefully. You talk to these young guys and, at first they're like, get out of here, old lady. And then you talk to them for a while and they're like, no, of course we believe in that. But what am I supposed to do? I gotta earn money, right? I gotta, and you're like, what does money matter if they, are relocating your mother, and all this stuff. And you've given them a lot of food for thought, but you haven't quite sealed the deal where
we
they
can
come
maybe
over.
do that. Let me.
Could she spend a coin for that final?
Yes, you can. Would you like to do
This
that?
is not my idea. This is Pat's idea.
I do have a coin.
Oh,
No,
I mean,
it's the
The
group.
I mean, the group.
Yeah, the
needs
group. The
coin
group.
also.
Yeah, but
Kenahora fortune.
Yeah.
Kenahora needs to do this.
Hey, they're sitting there complaining about money, and you're like, there's money, and then you spend the money.
Yeah.
And let's have you.
We'll make more money.
You want to roll to see if you get this youth militia on your side?
Sure.
Let's
So
do
I
it.
roll-
This
I roll
time,
what,
though,
again?
Bina, it can't be hunt because you found them. You've
Yeah,
talked to
they're
them.
here.
What is it now?
I will use consort. Does that work?
Yes, you will. Go for it.
Can I help with this?
You may. If you take a stress Elazar, you can give her
Okay.
an
But
extra
she
die.
can't.
What
She
happens
can't
if I
fail,
fail?
right?
Don't
Even if
take
she gets a
stress.
1, she fills in the last section of the clock, right?
Well,
Don't take
yes,
stress.
Andrew, but come on, it's fun to hear that Elazar's helping.
Okay.
You know
want
what?
to help. You
He's
don't
already so
go out.
stressed.
Andrew's just giving you good advice.
He's just like,
Elazar,
Bookbinder.
we narrate. I'm going to narrate that you are there helping, but Bina doesn't need you to actually take stress to do it. Bina's got this. Bina, how did your consort roll go?
I rolled a 3.
Well, Bina, normally that would be bad, right? Because 1 to 3 is not a very good thing. 1 to 3, you only get 1 segment, but that's all you needed. And so now a small militia of guys.
Yeah.
Good project.
I like that
Child
they-
army.
I like that they were kind of greasers when Jared was playing that one guy.
Oh, they still are.
Hey,
Yeah.
me and the rest of the Jayhawks would be happy to help.
Yeah, they've got whatever the Duskfall version of leather jackets is, and they've got pompadours, and they're constantly taking toothpicks out of their mouths. And I'll tell you something else. Ulf Ironborn isn't happy with you. Let's change the Kenohora's relationship to Ulf Ironborn now to
He's a
reflect a
thug.
negative
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
What's he doing? What's he doing to help? Nothing.
Thug.
I like
He's
Ulf
taking
Ironborn
boys
in the other
away.
games.
You're not the first person to tell Ulf Ironborn that he's not doing anything to help with this. And faction players playing Ulf Ironborn, I apologize. But maybe we'll give you a clock next time where you can help out if you chose to. All right. So let's see. Yeah, the Kenahora. Well, you had nothing with Ulf Ironborn. Now you have a -1 with Ulf Ironborn.
Sorry, guys. Got some boys for us, though.
You did get
Got
some
those
boys.
boys.
Yeah, Ulf is supposedly so about Skovland, and here he's sucking the gangs away when we need the help. So
Maybe it's time we
Sorry, not sorry,
paid him a
Ulf.
little visit.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea for a score. Maybe while the Bluecoats are attacking your neighborhood, you just take out the neighborhood, the gang near you.
Hey,
Actually,
listen.
I mean, it would be a way to earn turf, Bina. It would be
Kinda
a way to earn
genius.
turf.
Hey, I'm just trying to get us some power here.
Look, I mean, henceforth, these greasers shall be known as Bina's boys, and
oh, yeah.
I think we should turn this fucking ghetto into our turf.
I agree. I think that's a
Okay.
great idea. We can also, maybe we can get Ulf to work for us. That's a good way to get turf.
Yeah.
Absorb.
now let us go to Elazar, Drakkher. Elazar, Drakkher, there are 2 more downtime activities floating out there.
Okay.
Tell me what
I
you
need to relieve stress.
Okay. Oh, how much stress do you have? You said 8?
I
Oh
have-
my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. So you are going to once again go back to your books, right, and study.
What
Yes,
books
I
does
am.
he read to unwind? What does he like to relax with?
Specifically, Tintin comics.
A lot of asterisks.
Yeah, a lot of
I would probably
Asterisks.
as your GM, I might categorize it differently. My friend Elazar, I think that you need new, rare. You like every book reminds you of another book you need, or another book you've heard of, or another source you need to confirm your theories, to find out more about the invisible world. And so, I think But wait, your vice is obligation, right? It's
obligation.
Kind of, yeah. Well, you tell me. What does he do?
I think Elazar he's still looking into books and histories, but now he's looking into the histories of Skovland military victories and of Skovlan commanders and sort of how they've harnessed the power of numerology and stuff like that to help them in battle.
Very good. Okay. That's really, really interesting. And I think that you should go ahead and roll. I think it's your lowest attribute. So for you, that is
just one.
Just one. And let's see how much stress you clear.
So does that mean I roll 2 dice and take the lower?
You don't have. Do you have 0 in something?
No. I
No.
have one in prowess.
You have 1 in prowess, so you get to roll 1 die.
Okay. 1.
You've only cleared 7. But I will tell you this: while you are researching weaponry forged by Skovlanders, you happen upon a reference to something called the Artifacts of Kotar, which were forged by the legendary Skovland smiths for an ancient hero named Kotar, to be used in his battles against demons.
Okay.
You guys as a crew have a contact named Fitz, who's a collector who might know more about these ancient artifacts.
Would he pay for it?
He may have a job related to it,
Yeah.
possibly.
Okay.
Elazar, there is one final activity left on the board. One final downtime activity. What shall your final downtime activity be?
Okay. Well, I want to organize an uprising of Skovlanders against the Bluecoats.
Mm-hmm. Great.
That's what I want to do, I think.
Okay. Is that a long-term project? It doesn't feel that long-term. Why don't we call it a temporary acquire asset? You'll acquire a gang. So in addition to Bina's Bad Boys and the Golem and Lovely Rose, who apparently is now going to be weaponized, and a number of other weapons you all have brought to bear. You guys are truly prepping for war. I love it. You're going to acquire a mob that will do your bidding, Elazar. If you can succeed in getting a high tier, that means more people. If you get a low tier on your acquire asset roll, it means you only got a couple folks who are brave enough to stand up to the Bluecoats. Shall we see how it goes?
Yeah. Can I take a stress to help him?
I am going to allow it. I'm going to allow it. Urich is going around the university and getting the students riled up.
Maybe get some pamphlets printed or something.
Mm-hmm.
The Indomitable Trumpet does that for you for free. No coin necessary. The ink rakes of the Indomitable Trumpet. They're all about it, which is the Skovland for Skovlanders newspaper that the city authorities really want to get off the streets. And so you're passing out pamphlets. And so let's look, acquire asset. You're going to roll the crew's tier. You guys are still tier 0, so that means 2 dice and you take the lower. But remember, you can pay 2 coin to up it. So it means that Elazar would be just like lining pockets to get more people to join in.
Sure.
All right.
Since I'm helping him, how does that change the dice?
Oh, yeah, that's a very good point. You know what? Because you're helping him, let's go ahead and... this isn't truly a role people should be allowed to... 1D plus 1 die if aided by a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, so instead of 2 and take the lower, you're rolling 1 die now.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Would anybody else like to help? Because
I was going to say I can also help. It sounds like something I have been doing.
Take a stress, then you have another die, Elazar.
I'll chuck one in too.
Now everybody's passing out the pamphlets. Poor Violet's talking to the ghosts in the area.
Yeah, people are just walking around Violet to get these pamphlets.
All right,
Bina's at the game room. It's Kyle's game room, like waking up the drunks.
Hey.
All right, last roll was terrible. Let's see a good one. double sixes.
Yeah.
You have built yourself.
Oh, I was supposed to roll 3 dice, but
roll the other one.
1.
Oh, thank God it wasn't triple sixes. So, having done that, I can tell you that you have a gang of extremely high tier. Let's see here. If you get a critical, it's 5. So you've got a gigantic mob. Every Skovelander in Char Hollow is ready to fight these guys.
I think that's the important. Honestly, I think that was the move all along. Was Char Hollow? We are, everyone's the Kenahora. This is the army.
The Kenahora is like the name of the uprising.
Yeah.
Oh. So do the pamphlets say the Kenahora on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the idea that the Kenahora
that is not very sneaky.
Yeah, what is our
sneaky.
crew is like the shadows?
Yeah.
But I honestly,
but I think it helps in that, like, the idea is that the Kenahora is this giant amorphous
cabal
grassroots idea more than it is an organization.
So as long as our names are being left out of it, great.
Right.
I think
if anything, it's like a misdirect.
Yes.
The
ultimate goal, I think, the end goal of the Kenahora is for everybody to tell a different story about who's running it.
So are you saying that if you put it's not subtle to put your name into this pamphlet, but if you are misdirecting what the pamphlet says the Kenahora even is, then I guess that's at least,
maybe the pamphlet says who is the Kenahora. This mysterious group has been protecting us.
Very good. Well,
good.
I just think I'm going to narrate for a moment, which is that right now what is happening is some blue coats came into Char Hollow again and started with their evictions again. And there's just a mob of people throwing rocks at them, coming at them with like brooms and none of them are shooting at them. They're just kind of using like what's at hand. Like they're taking their chamber pots and tossing them out onto the blue coats' heads. Meanwhile, like another section of Char Hollow, a blue coat is breaks down a door and grabs a Skovelander and pulls him out of their apartment, and then suddenly a hand lands on that blue coat's shoulder and a huge hand pulls him out of the building. And it's the golem, and he's holding up the blue coat, and then he looks at the broken rat, and then he starts to grasp the blue coat in certain areas. Meanwhile, Bina's boys are they're like running along, and they're like just, sabotaging like a blue coat wagon and then running off. And then when the blue coats like get onto it to get away and they go, yeah, like suddenly it all falls apart and they fall off of it. And the entire mob is on top of them, like beating them down. So all of that is going on, and perhaps Urich is looking at the address he has. He knows where the Brain Trust is. And so here at the end of our night, I'm going to ask you, what is your next score? Your next score doesn't have to deal with this. It looks like you've kind of dealt with it through downtime activities, but maybe you want to cut off the head of the serpent so that it doesn't happen again. Or maybe you want to go into Giant Park and get Veldrin his cure. Or maybe you want to move against Ulf Ironborn and get some turf, which will help you like go up a tier. You let me know. I
mean, we do need that turf.
We also need.
Is there a way to secure the ghetto as turf?
Yeah, I mean, turf is they only write turf there to keep it vague, right? So it's just a part of the city that you've taken for yourself. So if you wanted to go out to the Dunslow ghetto and run a score to kind of take it as your own, you could do that. Or if you would want to, like right now, the Kenahora says, we're going to run a score that makes sure that people know that this part of Char Hollow you don't come into because the Kenahora is in charge of it. We just have to come up with a score that would allow you to do that.
I think we should find other enemies of the Bluecoats and find a way for them to pay us to destroy these Proud Boy fuckers.
Well, would the community pay us if we could go to some members of our community? Like, if we cut the head off the snake and put an end to these, could you?
I think we should
for
have a reckoning with the cops. That's just that might be Aaron Urist talking and not Elazar. But
I mean, we definitely have to. We shouldn't leave this situation to fester with the blue coats. We need to take care of this.
They'll come back stronger or something terrible
sooner than later.
Yeah, I think
so we know the commander is Judd Cooper.
Yes, I think we need to go after the proverbial head of the snake.
The Whittle House.
Well, that will not, give us either money or turf. So,
but could we not make money doing this score?
Maybe you could, because
Robin.
Maybe if you had more information, you'd be able to know like exactly how you could kind of angle it so you make money.
Yeah.
Can I weave the web?
You may weave the web.
Weave it.
Now that I'm a web weaver, can I gather information on a target for a score? And then so I get a plus to consort to do that, and then when we eventually do it, we'll get an additional dice to our engagement roll for the operation.
Yes, man.
Weave the web.
Spider it up, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gathering information, but you're going to get an additional die. So pick which action you're using to gather the information, and then roll. And depending on how your roll goes, is how much info I'll give you.
It says I get an extra D to consort when I gather information. So let's say consort.
Okay, great.
So that would give me 3 dice.
That's pretty good.
See it.
6, baby.
You sit down with Salia. You sit down with Salia, an information broker, who's one of your dangerous friends. And Salia is in this coffee shop where she just rolls appointments all day long. Like someone sits down, she tells them some information, gets some coin, and then they get up. And then so like some guy like kind of brushes past you that's clearly like a member of the Bill Hooks or something. He looks like a bad guy from Gangs of New York. He's just finished with her. And when you sit down with her, you explain to her what info that you have and what it would be worth. And she tells you that she'll get back to you. A couple of days later, you receive a messenger. One of the ciphers brings you a message to come and see her again. And she says that she's talked to her criminal contacts, and we've all decided that if this Commander Cooper and his organization were to be removed from the Bluecoats as an influence, let's just say that various of my clients, the gangs of the city, would be willing to provide your organization with a stipend, a bit of a remuneration for your efforts.
That sounds agreeable.
Let's
very
get the
good.
Cash.
So basically, she's saying that she's talking to like all the other gangs in the city, and they're going to take out like a high-ranking commander.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll throw a coin in.
Any gang worth their salt can figure out how to turn that to their advantage.
So Salia is gaining like an extra coin from each person that comes to visit her that day. And at the end of it, let's see. How much payout should it be? I think that this is a big one too, like your last one, but this one should pay, right? That's the whole reason you came here. That's the whole reason you gathered information. And let's see here, your payout. Yeah. This is a big score, serious loot, 8 coin. But you must remove the right. This like cell within the Bluecoats from the Bluecoats permanently.
Engage with the right at that house.
And
she took out one of the guys, so we're on our way.
She gives you one more thing, because what you used just now was a gather information roll, and the other thing that she gives you is Cooper's home. He lives in an apartment he shouldn't be able to afford in Brightstone, overlooking Unity Park, a park that celebrates the victory of Akaros over the nation of Scotland.
Okay.
Yuck. Unity Park.
So we now have his apartment and the place where the right like meet, right, on the reg, kind of their little like union hall.
We know it's like it's a abandoned mansion in a fancy area where they meet.
Sure. Which, I mean, if we're trying to, do we need to figure this out now or next?
No, in fact, you never figure it out because it's Blades in the Dark where no planning is allowed.
Well, I can tell you that now we get +1D to the engagement roll for this operation.
Yeah.
I will simply take you to the Woodall Mansion in Six Towers where there is a meeting being held of men, some of whom are still in blue coats uniforms, but wearing kind of like these sort of like silken masks over their face. And it's like, oh, our daughters will marry men of pure blood. We have the right. Our businesses will be manned by intelligent, evolved individuals. We have the right. Oh. And somewhere a spectral presence perhaps is watching it all go down as the Kenahora closes in.
A chubby bat is at the window.
Thank you. This is why you play with other GMs. That is the narration. A chubby bat is going
bumping into the window.
His belly is like smearing on the window.
There's like a tree branch outside, like
sliding down it.
That is tonight's session. Guys, you were fantastic as always. I want to thank my incredible players, Jordan Dahl, Aaron Urist, Andrew ORVEDAHL, and Rachel Weeks. Check out Better Than Heroes every Monday on Twitch, and follow these guys on their socials and let them know you love them. Guys, thank you for a great session. I can't wait for the score.
Thank you. Oh, man.
So
all right. I'll say goodbye for now. We're going to just turn off the cameras and do it right now and then let you guys know how it went. Guys, thank you for being here for another session of Blood and Blades. We will return next Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific to catch up with Becca Scott, Jasmine Billar, and Josephine McAdam, the Weird Sisters. And then shine your shoes for Vampire Church children, because tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, we are joined by Ashley Birch, Ross Bryant, and Abubakar Salim for Vampires of Pittsburgh Lockdown. I mean, every session is a cliffhanger. They're in deep shit, guys. The vampires are in deep shit. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Tuesdays on the Stream of Blood is the Taste of Blood, and this week we are coming back with an episode of the Neptune Society. Ross Bryant and Eric Mona will be joined by Dimension 20's own Brennan Lee Mulligan for our signature 19th century Call of Cthulhu 7th edition campaign. Be sure to check out that episode. It is a very special episode of the Neptune Society, featuring a new amazing character and some of our most interesting characters in that series. Stream of Blood is also a podcast. Please find it on the podcatcher of your choice and subscribe, rate, and review it. Blades in the Dark is by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions. Original music for the show is by Axel Kazis Taylor. You can hear more at soundcloud.com. The absolute best way to support our work is by subscribing on Twitch and to spread the word. Tell people what we're up to. Subscribe and comment on YouTube as well. Oh, and check out our new website. Guys, we've just done a little rebrand. We've been around a little over a year now, and we thought it was time to get some new duds on. So subscribe to our Google Calendar, and you can see what we have coming up. We're also on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And then, of course, the best way to talk to us is on our Discord server, the Server of Blood, where we are there to listen to your comments, suggestions, and just talk role-playing games and heavy metal. I want to thank, unfortunately, I don't have time for questions tonight, but like I said, get on that Discord server and we'll talk there. Special thanks to my producers and partners, Brian Baldinger and Clinton Trucks. Thank you to our social media manager, Megan Arch. Thank you to our YouTube content producer, Matt Moynihan. The Stream of Blood logo, opening animations, and our whole new look is courtesy of the newest member of our team, art director Jill Petracek. Thank you so much, Jill, and thank you to all the other people I mentioned. Guys, keep those knives sharp, and we'll see you in a week. Thank you. Bye-bye.